Good afternoon and welcome back to Kingsholm Stadium in Gloucester. We're here for the grand final of the International Defence Rugby competition. We've seen the UCAF ladies completely take apart the Irish Defence Forces and they have earned themselves bronze, a third place in this competition. But it's all about France versus Fiji. And in just 15 minutes time we'll be seeing who will top the table and who will win this year's tournament. Of course the French are defending champions, but who will overcome the brilliant chaos that is Fiji? Let's see how they've done so far in the tournament.
Through the forwards this time, and the beautiful run there from the tight head prop. That's absolutely fantastic stuff, and look at the footwork just to get to the line. Another try of the green and red shirts, and moving around the outside is Sokurvati, and another score before half time. They've been ruthless, and she makes it through there. Another try for Fiji. What a start to the second half for them. Naimata on the right hand side, a try for Fiji. This is absolutely brilliant stuff from the green and reds.
So again, scramble defence by Australia, and they're there. If Fiji can get a bit,
they're in, and they are over. It's another try for Fiji, and it was number 12 who got it. France are placed in the semi-final before they've even started, and going over for the try for them is number 11, Mirani Salebu. Not easy, no, against this incredibly talented team who look like they're heading for another try here, and this time it's the number 23, it's Kamari Seru, who has gone over their 12th try of the game. A kick forward then from Bergeron, and that's collected on that far side of the field, and they're going to go in for the opening score.
Oh, that's bounced nicely. Wow.
Very nice, and Naimata on the right hand side, a try for Fiji. This is absolutely brilliant stuff from the green and reds.
She's going to go all the way. Guisson for her second try. Wonderful scenes from the French. And that's going out to the other wing. It is Madeleine Cadasquet for points, but it is a resounding win for the French military here at Aldershot.
And that's wonderful work just on the field. Fanny Camus, number 22, and a brilliant score for the defending champions. Full-time whistle sounds, the French jubilant in celebration. Heartbreak for UCAF.
Well, I'm joined again by an Army and UCAF veteran of rugby, Lieutenant Colonel Charlie Mills. I'm sure you won't mind me saying that, but you have been heavily involved for the last 2 decades, of course. But Charlie, we spoke earlier, obviously the UCAF game is gone and done, and well done to them for bronze position. We spoke about the 2 different styles of rugby that we're going to see in this final between the Fijian force and the French. It'll be a test to which style wins out on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just been chatting to the teams as normal. And it's interesting, actually. France have really studied their pool game to see where they could learn some lessons. And from what I took from what they were telling me, they're trying to play a much more heads-up rugby, as I would define it. So actually looking, what are Fiji doing in their defensive line for France to actually exploit gaps in the Fijian line? They were saying that for the first game they were really forcing the passes out to the wing and trying to go around the outside, and Fiji were just soaking it up and pushing them out. So actually France have really sort of looked at that. Equally, the mental health side of the sport in terms of the fact you can never count, whatever the scoreline is, you can never count the Fijians out. They play, their style of rugby is much more in the now. So it doesn't matter what the scoreboard says, we're going to play, we got the ball, let's play with the ball now. So I think it's going to be very interesting whether France, they know what they need to do, it's whether they can actually do that once they get onto the park.
And you're talking there very much as if France are the ones having to adapt, because we do know that Fiji will just play like Fiji and they will just come out here. I'm sure they do have a plan, but I'm not sure that it looks like they have a plan, and they have to be the ones that adapt to it.
Yeah, it's an interesting philosophy. Will they adapt? Will they play the French style? Will Fiji adapt? But like you say, Fiji, I think it's been controlled chaos by a few of the commentators. Absolutely, it's that they're just natural ball players, and I hate to say that, but it really is. They'll play what's in front of them. So if the defensive line isn't up as a line together, working together, they will get through that gap. And of course they're strong ball carriers, so even if you make a good tackle, unless you stop them, they're going to cross the game line and offload, and then that player's through the gap. So yeah, France, I hate to say it, I know they're defending champions and I'm not trying to write them away here, but I do think it'll be interesting which side and style wins out. It's an exciting game coming up.
Does it mean anything that the French are defending champions? Because I know with military rugby, and I'm sure it's the same across the forces world, that the teams change a lot. I don't know if you've seen a lot of players that were there 3 years ago with the French side, and also it's not in New Zealand, it's in the UK this time. Has that carried? Because actually I feel that France have been quite quiet, and suddenly they're in the final, and maybe we should have expected that from them winning 3 years ago.
I wish I knew the answer to speak on behalf of France on this one. What I would say is, if this was UCAF, absolutely, from a UK Armed Forces point of view, we take our legacy seriously and we intertwine it. So it's not that you're held back by your past, but absolutely it's part of your current and future. But it's in a really positive way. And if I was France, I'd be doing that. So absolutely it means something to them. I mean, French rugby is strong back. And these are passionate players. So the fact that they are defending will absolutely give them that extra spurt. The key is whether it's enough to beat Fiji.
I think it's really important to say, in the sort of context of where we're at, we talked earlier about the facility that is Kingsholm, a premiership ground, and the fact that our military can regularly play here. We've also got the Rugby World Cup going on in the background. We've got 3 military players involved in that. Actually, a small part of them all want to be here, supporting their friends. And also, Sarah Bonner made the point, she's never even got a UCAF cap because she's always been playing for Scotland, or been injured, unfortunately, for Sarah. But just from you, someone who's been involved with military rugby, but rugby generally for 20 years, for all of your career, it is, yes, not a grey in a sight. It is an amazing time to be playing rugby, and to be a female playing rugby as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, women's sport in general this summer, women's football, women's cricket, women's rugby, absolutely. But for defence sport to also be part of that journey is even more amazing. Clearly, as a defence rugby player, administrator, etc., absolutely. It is in the right place. It's taken a drum to be beaten regularly, but for those players that have been beating that drum, Absolutely. Massive smiles on our faces. So grateful for the sponsors for actually putting us into the position. And, you know, we've got 4 international players that have cycled here and included this in their part of the, you know, in part of the build-up as part of the Rugby World Cup being here. To have a women's IDRC means so much to the players, to give them that to fight towards and to win their UCAF shirt, and for all the rest of the teams that are here. It's such a great networking opportunity, such a great rugby opportunity, and it's fantastic that the women have now got their opportunity.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Charlie. She mentioned someone there. Rocky Clark is with Cy Hunter and Don Wilding to commentate on this Fiji-France final.
19 matches, 8 teams, 2 pools, and it comes down to this, the decider, to determine one champion in the International Defence Rugby Competition 2025. We've been treated to top quality tussles over the past 2 weeks at some of England's most famous grounds, and Kingsholm plays host to this Fiji-France finale. There's a feeling of familiarity with these sides meeting, just like they did in Pool B, but France will be hoping it's not déjà vu, as it was the Fijians who turned over the defending champions that time, despite being depleted in number due to some ill discipline on the day. The Fijians have been fast, fierce and fearless in their style to date, while the French showed how their more structured strategy took down the hopeful UCAF side in the semi-finals at Richmond. And it's a delight again today to be joined by England's Red Roses World Cup winner Rocky Clark. An absolute joy to be with you again, Rocky. We're in for a real treat this afternoon.
We absolutely are. The stage is set. The stadium is looking fantastic. The crowd is getting ready. And I just can't wait. As we've alluded to, 2 very different styles of playing. But we know that France are going to throw everything at Fiji. But Fiji just playing that live off-the-cuff play. And we're sure to see some epic encounters today.
It's almost as if the weather gods have been listening to us, of course. The sun's shining here. The first match today, a resounding win for the UK Armed Forces against Ireland in the 3rd, 4th place playoff. And plenty of rain earlier on. We were worried about how much would be falling. Hopefully not too much, if any, in this game. And the sun being out, that fast synthetic 4G surface as well. Hopefully leading to plenty of tries. And goodness me, good luck to anyone keeping a tally of the number of tries in this tournament. You and I have seen quite a fair few, even in the last few days alone.
Yeah, there's been some absolute worldies of tries. And you're talking about the weather. I've just come off the back of 4 days of cycling as we're hitting all the World Cup venues. So starting at Sunderland and got down to Northampton, and we had so much rain. But just coming here, and as I arrived on my bike, I saw a fabulous try by one of the UCAF players, and there was loads of tries throughout this tournament. I've been so impressed by the standard and the calibre of the players.
I think the organisers deserve a lot of credit. This tournament, of course, all those tries, the quality of rugby, some of those contests, like the last time these 2 sides met in Henley, have been absolutely gripping. And indeed, the crowds as well, the atmosphere that some of these teams have brought. If you think of the musical Zambians coming on, singing onto the pitch, if you think of the Tongans and the Fijians, some of their fan bases, their supporters who've been out banging the sides, you know, the sort of advertising boards on the sides of the stadiums, making their voices heard. This has been a real advert for women's military rugby.
It certainly has, and I encourage anybody to get behind it because it's fast and furious, and the quality coming through is so good. And yeah, as you talk about the fans, they are on fire as well.
If you put yourself, Rocky, in the shoes of the coaches today, the players, of course, feeling those nerves, this is what they've been building up for. This is going to be a real tussle, a real fight today, of course, for both these sides. What would you be saying to your players as they come out? They've got that nervous energy ready to go.
Yeah, first of all, it's really important that you try and get into the game and do what you're good at. So whether it's a big, strong carry or if you're a clearance kick, just try and get into your comfort zone. You know, try and forget what the occasion is, walk across that whitewash and then just do one thing at a time. So what's important next, what's your next job, and then try not to force anything because it's, you know, a long game. They don't need to win it in the first 10 minutes.
Well, what an opportunity, of course, for both these sides. We're seeing the trophy just laid out on the plinth as well on the pitch. And a real incentive, of course, for all those players as they walk past it in just a few seconds' time. And the French, of course, an opportunity to go back-to-back, the defending champions, having won the tournament in New Zealand in 2022. What a fantastic opportunity for them today as the finalists get ready to walk out, the flag bearers in front of them. What a fantastic moment this is. We have Romero and Batinakila, the 2 skippers, leading their sides out, the photographers, the videographers, everyone getting their piece of the pie as these teams get ready to lock horns very shortly. Of course, delighted and so excited to bring this to you on BFBS Forces News YouTube, the second of a double header. That's been another fantastic element of this tournament as well. The back-to-back games each of the match days. And building up to this one here, you can just hear the crowd starting to chant, starting to get ready to see their players do it for their nations. The French arm in arm. Fijians standing to attention. And the officials as well, making their way into the centre of those two lineups. And players standing in the centre of the pitch with sunshine bathing it now. A delight to see, of course. And hearing those chants, especially from the Fijian supporters already. We know it's going to be loud from them, and the French, of course, with their passion, will be bringing it as well. What an occasion. What a sense of pride. Players get ready to meet the dignitaries. And just as a reflection, of course, of the significance of this tournament and how much it means to both militaries, not just the players or the fans, the families, the friends, but indeed those in the chain of command who've given their players the opportunity to come and play in this. And we know the sacrifices, Rocky, as well, have been made by quite a few of the players, having to give up leave, having to be able to come out and spend weeks and weeks in camp, which of course is a joy when you're representing your nation, but the sacrifices that have been made, and you're seeing the results for these two sides in the final.
Absolutely, being able to get yourself here, take the time off. You know, you need the support of your friends and your family, of work, and there's a lot of sacrifices you have to make. So to see these ladies really give a wonderful showcase of women's rugby is exceptional, and the quality that we're going to see today.
Well, with yourself, of course, Rocky, a World Cup winner, and at one stage, of course, record number of caps that you'd won for your country. What an amazing moment this is. When you're lining up there, just describe to us the feeling that you're having. You're wanting to get going. You're just minutes away from kickoff. I'm sure all that adrenaline is coursing through the body.
Yeah, you know, there is a concern, is it a distraction? But actually, you're really, really proud. You wanna meet the dignitaries. You want to put your best foot forward, and this is just part of the process, part of the preparation that you have to go through. And then once you're all lined up, take a deep breath, and then you're ready to rock and roll.
Very special as the dignitaries make their way towards the end of the Fijian line. Handshakes all round, some words of encouragement perhaps as well as the players get ready, and those in attendance for the national anthems. Renditions that make the hair stand up on the back of the neck. Both sides loud and singing proudly for their nations. A look at the teams now. Fiji led once again by Asita Batinikila from Luced. She told us about their excitement for today and quiet confidence as well. The strength of support that they've received at the grounds has been delighting her so far. 4-try hero against Ireland, Saini Rayoma, is on the right wing. One of Rocky's players of the semi-finals. For France, Melissa Romero leading the side from Jodie May. Romero, I should say, from scrum half. Playmaker Melissa Bergeron at 10. Try scorers against UCAF, Andrea Chastain and Adeline Carrasquet on the wings. And the powerful scrummaging front row of Aricastre, Swillard and Leduc start once again. Rebecca Piddleston, today's referee, assisted by UCAF's Nikki O'Donnell and Ireland's Paddy Sheehan. Kevin Lewis and Heather Addison-Prout making up the team. And it'll be Melissa Bergeron of France to get things underway here. France to start. Ball heads the way of Wakolo, powerful tight head from Fiji. Coming out through the hands, that very powerful front row of Fiji, of course, immediately a threat. This French defence wary of the challenge that presents them from there. Number 12, Siki Sawana, moving the ball up past the halfway mark. Getting this ball back through the hands. And the offloading game already clear to see from Fiji. Trying to get quick ball here. Siata. The ball did go back, so Fiji still have it in the hands. And France just trying not to allow them too much of a gain in first challenges. And trying to get that ball back. Rayoma, score of 4 tries against UCAF on Saturday, taking that into contact. And Fiji earning a penalty.
Great play by Fiji, looking at that offloading game. Just some great carries early on. From that front row, taking it to the edge, looking for their opportunities. You can see them getting their arms through. And there's this little short runner coming off the side, just trying to get in behind that defence. Great start for Fiji.
Viniana Riwai getting that ball into touch. Into the French half. And just a little drying of the ball, of course, as well. Perhaps a little greasy, the surface, after this morning's rain. And it's Latia Marama to throw into the line out. Coming back and trying to clean that up a little bit, the Fijians. And Makoto, a good carrier from blindside. Riwai, advantage over for the knock-on. Pushing that out down the narrow side. And outside centre, Solikaviti, thinking she was in business there, but the French defence standing up to the test so far. The tight head once again, Wakolo, trying to punch holes. And her hooker, Marama, trying to bounce defenders off, but well done from France, earning themselves the penalty in defence and taken quickly by Romero. Chipping that ball downfield. Nobody at home, but fullback Rokowate chasing. That's good pressure from France and taking that ball up. Very, very good. Deep in the 22 now, France. Looking to change sides. The tight head, Manon Leduc. Advantage being played as well. Free play for France. And that ball just almost spilled there. Referee initially playing on, but moving back for the infringement.
Clever play by France there, kicking over, putting Rocco Kawati under lots of pressure, forcing the turnover. And they're now opting for a shot at goal.
Taking the points while they have the opportunity, France. It was a measure of their game against UCAF in Richmond on Saturday, converting those opportunities into points. Something they didn't allow UCAF to do. And a key part of their success in getting to the final. So Bergeron with a fairly straightforward attempt, you'd think. Right in front of the posts. And she makes it. France lead 3-0 in the opening phases of this match at Kingsholm. Barely 5 minutes played. And a good start, soaking up some early pressure from hefty Fijian power in the forward pack.
Yeah, that was patience by the French there. Just waiting for the opportunity. Saw that space in the backfield. Pressurise the fullback, get the turnover, then earn the penalty. Good start by France.
Just how much is patience going to play a part today, Rocky? Not just in defence, as we've been seeing with France so far, but also in attack, trying to go through the phases, trying to force those errors.
Yeah, and we're already seeing two different styles. France are using the kicking game, and then Fiji are running back, keeping the ball alive, trying to get in. France are trying to play that territorial game. Fiji are keeping the ball.
How much will rain play a part as the sheets come down now at Kingsholm? Those squally showers have been moving through all day. We hope it's just that, as Fiji try and bustle their way forward through that mighty pack of theirs. The ball ends up going forward, and there'll be a French put-in.
Yeah, well, that's an error with that offloading game. Marini there trying to force that offload, and it's a wet day now. Just have to make sure those offloads are likely to stick, and that's where that patience comes into it. But it's going to be a good contest at the scrum time. We saw in the last game, Leduc really carried well, Swillard as well.
We saw there Varatima Adi with the ball on the right wing, a late change for Fiji. Eleanor Naimata, the vice-captain, making way for her. Oh, that's very powerful from Fiji. Ball coming back on the French side. And wrestling to get that on the ground. Another penalty for France.
Just seen a touch of that ill-discipline creep in. You heard the referee shout, leave it. But going again for touch.
France having been very happy. And that's lovely. That's well played back to the fullback. Beautiful rugby from Fiji. Keeping that ball in from the penalty. Moving it through the hands now. Siata over the halfway line. And coming back on the French side, it will ricochet off the boot and go into touch.
Exciting play. Fiji managed to keep the ball in. Really clever play, just tapping the ball back in. And then Arakase very quick for that turnover.
Well, it's Anaël Swillard with the throw-in. We saw how instrumental she was in that defeat of UCAF on Saturday. Scored a try of her own as well. And the ball comes out to the backs now. And taking the line at pace was Julie De Coral. But I tell you what, she was met with ferocity on the Fijian front. Knocked the ball on, and it will be a Fiji put into the scrum.
That was a massive hit from Siki Sawanana. She flew in, cut her opposite number in half. Those are the hits that you want to see. That's going to make the highlight reel.
Yes, indeed. That may indeed make Rocky's highlight reel as well. I think that's quite something. The sort of hit, Rocky, that you can hear even up in the commentary gantry.
Yeah, you can feel it too. You know, she's going to have a rib tickler there.
It was like you were saying earlier about the cycling and how much endurance, but I tell you what, you prefer that, I think, to a collision like that. And the ball coming through. And that's nice work from Riwai, trying to keep that in hands. Referee just telling French defenders to keep hands off the ball. As they come again, the Fijian forwards. The ball comes out the back. Rokisa. That's nice. Rain falling more steadily now and more heavily. That's a rather hard line taken by Sateri Makoto. And taken quickly by Rokisa, but Rebecca Piddleston calls them back.
Yeah, you could hear the crowd ooh and ah before that high tackle. It's a great hard line from Makoto. She's carrying really well already, got through a lot of work. This rain is absolutely hammering it down. You can see on the picture just how hard it is. Fiji opting to carry.
Siata this time. The sort of conditions that would test any running style, so it'll be interesting to see how the Fijians go here. But so far, making a good fist and trying those offloads. One good feature of their game certainly is the offloading through the hands of the forward pack. Just offering their backs even more space and time on the ball. Into the French 22 now. That's lovely stuff from Wakolo. Advantage being played, a good attacking position. Here comes Rukisa. Riwai. And Rokowati, the fullback, just screaming for more forward support coming in there.
They're going route one through the middle, aren't they?
Going back for the infringement. Not rolling away Swiards, French hooker.
Yeah, they just changed their game plan a little bit, trying to keep it tight now. Are the Fijians in the 22? Just having time off.
Well, it's been a tournament, Rocky, in terms of conditions, almost of two halves, if you like. The first half played under blistering sunshine. And now, the last few days, some biblical rain coming down. Rebecca Piddleson just having a word with Romero, the French captain, making sure that defenders are rolling away, not trying to slow that down illegally.
Yeah, discipline's just starting to creep in a little bit. Started against the Fijians, now it's going against France. There's a little bit of treatment going on.
Well, discipline, of course, was one of the major talking points in that match the two sides played in Pool B at Henley a couple of Fridays ago. And Fiji, my word, down to 13 players at one point, a couple of yellow cards, and then a double yellow leading to a red for about 20 minutes towards the end, down to 14. Still coming away with the win. I mean, the confidence that gives you as a side as well. Incredible work against the defending champions. And they're opting for the posts. And what one might say is a sensible option, Rocky Clark.
Yeah, I would. Especially in these conditions, it might be a really tight game, so you need to take the opportunities when they come. I tell you what, I would not like to be cycling in this weather. We've gone through it the last few days, and we have been in downpours like this on our fundraising mission for Ed. But it's now the mission of the kicker to try and get it through the uprights.
Ivamere Rokowate, the fullback. Trying to curl that round, and it's just been pushed a little. And not successful from Fiji. So France still lead at 3 points to 0. Just over 10 minutes played here in Kingsholm.
Well, important for France to exit now. Got the 22 drop out. Got to try and get some field distance on this. Takes it to halfway.
That's well taken there. A diving catch, much in a sort of a cricket style. With the rain beating down heavily. And Riwai just looking to see what option she has in space. Getting that ball through the hands. Vitalina Marini. And outside centre. Soli Kaviti only getting it back to French hands. This will be a test of patience in the rain for both sides. Leduc. Ball spilling out. Romero doing well to get that ball back. But a penalty, and just a few afters from both sides, probably chatting about how much they dislike the rain. And penalty from Bergeron.
Another big hit coming in from Fiji. Open side, Ray Lumo just getting a little shot on Baru.
Well, the rain beating down heavily now. You can hear it hammering off the top of the stadium as well.
Yeah, certainly test the line out. But Swiard nailed her first one. Got away with a second. No, she didn't. Yeah, it was just to the left. Because they contested, they've opted for the scrum.
How did you train for wet conditions, Rocky? We hear of a lot of fullbacks and back three players, you know, the likes of Elliot Daly, for example, training with slippery rugby balls to make sure that, you know, they can cope under these conditions. How did you train? Obviously, when it came to making sure that everything was in the right place in the scrum and the line out and the rain was just hammering down, you probably couldn't see at times.
Yeah, I've played in many a game like this, and certainly you mentioned those training tips, a big bucket of water filled with fairy liquid and rugby balls, and then trying to pass, catch, do some handling. It's pretty tough. And then scrummaging, you pick the worst part of the ground, the muddiness and the puddles, just to try and see that you can get a grip and go through. But it's about sticking to processes.
Narukite taking it into contact. Back through to Wakolo. Ball comes out again to Narukite. Forwards and their pods working together here. Fiji have had much of the early possession. They do trail the French 3 points to 0. Coming out to Riwai. Taken behind her, Siata, but keeps it in the hands. And Lee Duke doing well to wrap her arm around that and stop the offload. Siata again. Out it comes, Wakolo. It's the number 8 this time, Vitalina Marini. And penalty earned.
So Arakase again going for that holding on. She's very good over the ball, but there was a player not rolling, so the penalty's gone against them. Now, an area that Fiji really need to improve on is their ball presentation. At the moment, some of the bigger units are carrying really well, getting through, and as they're going to floor, they're landing on their side, so it's really easy to steal that ball. So they've got to make sure they land on it. Fall forward, present backwards is the easy way when we're coaching youngsters. But Fiji have got the penalty and kicked to the 22. Opportunity here.
Can they make this visit to the 22 count in terms of points this time around? Of course, missing that penalty a few minutes ago. As Marama just tries to dry the ball as best as possible. Ball comes into the centre of the line out, goes forward. Back into French hands. Opportunity for an exit here. Forward's just taking it. It is like a bar of soap, Rocky Clark, at the moment. Spilling through those hands. Romero doing her best to clear as far as she can, and does relatively well. So France are able to exit. The rain coming down heavier, and hopefully those of you watching today aren't getting soaked wherever you may be. Let us know where you're watching. BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. Of course, check out our socials as well. BFBS Forces News on the likes of Instagram, and indeed Rocky Clark. Where can they find you on Instagram? Sending some of their comments through.
Yeah, feel free to contact us, get a few shout outs. Rocky Clark _1. We'll get them read out. Let us know where you are, who you're supporting, and we'll certainly get them read out.
Oh, and that was an attempt to take that off her bootlaces. Very difficult. And now Océane Buisson, she's been relatively quiet so far in this game. A very dynamic runner from fullback for the French. She's been electric all tournament. Finding space very easily when others might not do. It's getting a little brighter here at Kingsholm. The French now into the Fijian half. And that ball just spilling out. It did go forward. So it'll be back into Fijian possession.
Just going through the phases, you can really tell how much of the weather is affecting the ball and the quality of passes. Just need to play a little bit tighter with their rugby. Don't force things. Anna Maria Rukisa with the ball. Fijian scrum half.
They've had consistency, these sides, with their lineups in general through the competition. That's, of course, been a major part of their success to date. Rikisa and Riwai, the playmakers for Fiji. And number 8, Marini, trying to take that off the back and getting it through the hands now. Riwai herself trying to cut back inside, see what space is available. Coming out to the wings. Just a little slip there from Reoma. What can she do today after her 4-try wonder on Saturday? Fijians arriving at the French 22 again. Wakolo. Back it comes to Latia Marama. And the ball looked as if it had gone back. Ref's just saying play on. Bergeron has it. Puts the kick in, seeing that there's a bit of space out towards that far side on the wing. And a lovely kick. End over end coming into touch.
Sensible option there from France. They get the turnover, but they go for the territory game, especially in these conditions. And it's that kick through by Ruwa, who's then got Bergeron, who's gone, kicked it across on the 10-metre line. And they can force the pressure on to Fiji as they weren't clear on their line out last time.
John in Tennessee says it's rainy there as well. Some of that late summer, early autumn stormy stuff perhaps in the southeast of the US. That ball being knocked on. Jean-Mi Rossi Alelefi. Great to hear from you all. Keep those comments coming through. Let us know where you're watching. The rain just takes a bit of a break now, much to the delight of the players. But you get to that stage, Rocky, where you're so wet you probably don't even care anymore. It's the nature of the ball, though, and keeping that handling going, that's the key.
Yeah, I would imagine the wingers aren't too happy when they're soaked through and not touching the ball. But certainly in the pack, keeping warm and just trying to get as many carries as possible.
That's a nice little grubber kick through, and some of the French chasing hard. De Corral coming through towards the try line. The ball just being placed down near those guards at the bottom of the posts, and Fiji doing very well in defence to push France back. Advantage being played as well. Clémence Ripin, one of the stars of that French side. Marine Nationale player as well. Offside, Fijian number 7. Manon Leduc just saying good afternoon to some of the Fijian defenders. Out it comes back to Bergeron. She's seeing that opportunity for a crossfield kick across the bit of space there. Buisson just not quite getting to it. And Fiji breathe a sigh of relief.
That was great vision by Bergeron, wasn't it? The Fijians were really narrow in their defence. And just that crossfield had the opportunity.
Options for a penalty, Rebecca Piddleson says. There's a high tackle in there and an offside. No try ruled, but the French a great opportunity here in attack. Asita Batinakila just being told by the referee that behaviour needs to improve, especially when it comes to high tackles. We saw that a bit between these sides from the Fijians in Henley. Now it comes Leduc, bursting forward towards that try line, Manon Leduc. France ever closer now. Suillard. Will she be on the try scoring sheet again today? Suillard, Romero, options in the forwards, and that's been knocked forward back into Fijian hands. They're looking to run the ball as we've become accustomed to in this competition. Batinakila getting that out to Adi. What space? What? She tries to move that back. She does very well indeed. And spilled forward. Well, that's just very unfortunate for the Fijians on that far side. There was a bit of space opening up. And just to reflect the threat that they have out wide. Romero looking up. Bergeron spotting that there's some space again. Puts that kick in. She's been great with the boot. Now Rayoma. Bit of work to do. French jerseys there in defence. The ball just being kicked out off a Fijian boot. Just an exchange of opinions there as well of some of the players. They're all up for it, of course. Why wouldn't they be? Final time and just 3 points in it.
Love this. This game is so exciting. And there's even a little bit of afters as well. And they're just letting each other know that they're there. Suillard just getting a little bit of treatment. But momentum now with Fiji, but they have given away 3 penalties on the bounce in the 22. So the referee has just warned them that they need to improve their behaviour, particularly for tackle high.
Also saying the Fijians not to be dipping too much, the ball carriers, into contact. As Suillard prepares for the line out. And going midway and taken well, that's clean. To Bergeron into midfield, and a fierce challenge from Sateri Makoto. Out it comes fairly quick from Romero as well. And the French blindside Audrey Barou. And forward they come, prepared to go through the faces here, France. Léa Morel going down that blind side, but shipping it back to Suillard. And spotting a little bit of space there, Suillard.
She had to jump over one of the players.
Got a low centre of gravity, but not needed on that occasion when you're airborne. But Fijians get it back. Bati Nakila this time, just pirouetting, bouncing off defence. And that's very dangerous. And had it not been for that knock on, well, that could have been interesting. Well, it's all happening.
Yeah, it's like a pinball, isn't it? We talked about it being a slippery surface. Thank goodness the sheets of rain has calmed down. A little bit of a blue sky making its way in. Now you're not listening to the weather. This is the conditions at the Rugby. But hell of a final already. And we've seen a number of times Bergeron is, once she's made that pass, she's just having a little welcoming committee. Once she's made that pass, so she is going to be a little bruised and battered, I'd say, tomorrow, but she's playing really well. Clever game with that kicking game, playing that territory, turning the Fijians, trying to force them to make a mistake.
I think the rain was coming down so heavily at one point, Rocky Clark, you were preparing to do the shipping forecast, but not to be, as things dry up a little bit and we get back to the rugby.
Well, this is an epic scrum battle as well. It's going tit for tat at the moment, one way then the other. Referee just saying you need to keep your feet underneath you. You can't go too long. That's when you get those drop scrums. Who's going to come out on top on this one? Fijian ball.
That's good work from the French scrum.
Well, as the Fijians fed the ball in, they carried on driving forwards. That's a penalty. You have to have that settling period. You have to come static.
That's a thunderous hit back from Wakolo on Le Duc. And there'll be a French penalty. And just a bit of medical assessment coming on for Manon Le Duc.
You always know when there's tight head on tight head, there is going to be a big collision. And my goodness, I think the stadium shuddered. That was massive. Le Duc's carried so well over this tournament. Big, strong carries from her. But then we've seen Waikolo carrying well as well. Referee's just having a chat about the discipline.
Rebecca Piddleton chatting to her assistant Pody Sheehan. well above the sternum. She said it's meeting the threshold for a yellow card, and it will be 10 minutes in the sin bin for Mariani Wakolo, saying it was above the sternum. Could have got lower, and we're seeing the consequences of that now.
Yep, so it's 10 minutes in the bin, which means they're down to 14, but it does give her 10 minutes to recharge and probably carry lows again when she comes back on, but opportunity for France to go for the 3 points.
Very methodical again, Melissa Bergeron, putting the ball on the kicking tee. For many aside, of course, Rocky, they'd shudder at the thought of a player going off for 10 minutes in such a close game, and it's such a high-stakes match, of course, in a final. But the Fijians, well, they showed against the defending champions, France, that they can be down a player for about 20 minutes towards the end and still win it. So they may not be too bothered, but they will have to improve that discipline if they don't want to keep getting pinged for those infringements. Bergeron with the strike. Fairly low kick, but it makes it over the crossbar. And 6 points to 0 lead France. And very good from them, coming away with more points.
Yeah, I think France are going to be pretty happy with that. Haven't particularly had much ball, but they've gone for the territory when they can and then just waited for the ill discipline. Took the 2 shots, 6-0, not a bad outcome.
Riwai to Karaske. Karaske, who's been dynamic for France on that right wing in this tournament. Try score in the semi-final, of course. Now it comes back to Bergeron. That ball coming down. Reomo. Lovely kick. Makes its way out into touch.
Strong carries coming from Ripen, who carried really well. One of my players earlier in the semi-final. But look at this.
Rokowati. And now out to Adi on that far side. Can she get past the defence? Not quite. That ball spilling and getting back into French hands, and Buisson, of all players, trying to get going there. Out it comes to the French forwards, moving beyond the 22 mark. Bergeron in the pocket, looking to kick that out, but only really going as far as the back 3 of Fiji. It's Rokowati this time, trying to speed that up the wing, but being caught by French defenders. Blind sides, Terry Makoto and Bati Nikila. It's nice from Narakete.
Look at that defence from France, flying up, trying to chop it off. There's Bure, who flew up to stop that offload. They're starting to adjust now well to this Fijian team.
Very nice from Romero, chipping that over the top. And Buisson in hot pursuit and takes that ball into her hands, but just bundled into touch. But a lovely bit of awareness. Once again, Romero and Bergeron spotting space behind, not afraid to put the chips in.
This is clever play by France. Just keep turning Fiji.
Litia Marama will have the throw to the line out. That goes cleanly. Now Riwai moving it back, and only as far as Clémence Ripin. A good attacking opportunity now for France. Moving it through the hands. Bergeron spotting a bit of space. The ball spilling out forwards through the hands. And it's getting fairly slippery out there, I think.
Well, it's like hot potato out there. They're trying to play quick because the opportunity's there. The space is wide, but by doing that, It's just forcing the passes a little bit.
So just around the half-hour mark now in this match. France leading 6-0. That's a good shove from the French forwards and earning themselves the penalty as well. That's brilliant work.
Well, tactically, if you're Fiji there, you have to win that scrum. You've got 7 in the scrum against a very strong French side. I would have got a back to come in and made it 8 on 8. But as it is, they've gone over the top of them, earned the penalty, and potentially 9-0 up.
And another opportunity to kick it goal for Melissa Bergeron. Tying up her target, Bergeron. Comes in with the strike, which is a good one. And it moves her side to 9-0 in the lead in this first half.
Well, that's a tactical masterclass from Bergeron with her kicking game. Really, really clever. And the French side has just been so patient, just waiting for those opportunities for an isolated player, for an opportunity at scrum time, or those turnover balls. Important that Fiji go long here to try and, well, they've gone short, they've gone for the contest.
Del Corral moving that ball back. It'll be a French penalty again.
Yeah, you've just been scored against. You need to get back into the game. No silly penalties, but this isn't made touch. Opportunity.
Brokawate trying to bounce off defenders. Karaske doing well, holding her ground in defence. Kisa. Priscilla Siata trying to come around the fringes of that breakdown area. But it did go forward, and it'll be a French put into the scrum. A bit of moisture just getting into Rebecca Piddleston's microphone and earpiece as well. So a bit of time for some running repairs. Water being brought on as well, as if enough of that hasn't fallen from the sky so far today. But so far, both sides have adapted as well as they can in the conditions. And it is dry at the moment, Rocky Clark. But the intensity of this match, befitting of a final.
Absolutely. Fast and furious. We talked about it earlier. And it certainly hasn't been a disappointment. Despite no tries being scored, the quality of this game, the offloads, some of them are absolutely sublime. But then we talked about that French kicking masterclass from Bergeron. Two very opposing styles of play.
Special to see how many people are in support for both sides. We've heard the noise of the Fijian fans over the last number of games as well. And Isita Batinikila, the captain, just talking post-match on Saturday about how much they enjoy lining out, of course, in front of their fans.
So this is where the Fijians have got 7 in the scrum. And you keep a full back line because it's not close to the try line, and they've managed to get through that.
Well done from the Fijian defence, earning themselves a penalty. Susanna Relumu, good from the open side.
Yeah, very quick over the top, despite having 4 or 5 French players on her, just stayed her ground, was able to withstand the clear.
Well, the French open side this time, Marie Amon trying to do her very best and keep that ball in play, but goes into touch. And Marama prepares for the line out.
Well, it was a great line out from her last time. They need the same again here.
Through it comes long, and Ripin can't hold on to it. Ball goes forward off her hands.
So going for a scrum to Fiji. Are they going to put an extra body in? They're under massive pressure last time. And it's Marini who's gone up to front row. But they've only got 7 in. You can imagine France are going to give this a good old drive. No number 8 to control it. Got to get it out there quick. She's managed to.
Oh, and that's lovely work. Very nice from Riwai, trying to get it through the hands to her inside centre, Siki Sawana. And spotting a bit of space out in the far side now, Fiji. And that's lovely handling again, and Adi out on the right wing. Not far away now, the Fijians.
There's 2 players down for the Fijians, and they got 1 off, so 12 at the moment.
Referee having a good look at that. Looks as if it was just over the line. France. Desperate defence from France. Oh, and they've done well. They've turned that over, France. Allowing themselves the opportunity of an exit here. Ripin going over the top. Bergeron dropping into the pocket. Romero looking for the box kick, however. Gets that over the top. Adi just watches it sail into touch.
That's a huge shame for Fiji. They had the opportunities. Only a couple of metres out. Ball was turned over though. Quality by France, good exit. Fiji are back up to full strength now.
Wakolo, instrumental tight head, coming back on the pitch. She's done her time for that yellow card. Just a few minutes to go now until half time. 9-0 France lead Fiji in this IDRC 2025 final. Ball comes back on the French side and bobbling towards the try line. It was Sateri Makoto who was after it, and number 8, Vitalina Marini, was off her feet there. So a French penalty.
Just didn't need to give that penalty. They'd cornered them right on their try line. They would have got the turnover once they kicked it out in a good attacking position. But as it is a penalty. Now it's a France ball, but it is under pressure.
Done well to clear their lines on several occasions today, France. They've been under pressure from that fantastic Fiji pack. And Swiart ready to throw that in and try and find Barut. But back to Fiji now. That ball is going back. Riwai. Out to Rokowati. Rayoma goes in to offer some assistance. Plays makeshift scrum half. Gets it to Siki Sawana. And the French tackler not releasing there. Holding on, and Rokowate now with the ball. On the open side, Relumu. Good attacking position this for Fiji, and earning themselves yet another penalty. Siata just being told off there by the referee, reminding her who the official is today.
Well, they went for the quick tap there, managed to draw out another penalty. I was just slightly worried they were going to be isolated, but they're going for the carries again.
Thunderous runs from Fiji into that French defensive line.
Narakoti again, great carries.
Siata this time moving it through. Recycling that ball, or Fiji. Forwards burrowing ever closer to that line. What can they do in the stroke of half time here, Fiji, in response to the 9-point deficit the France have? Ball bobbling back, still into Fijian hands. Rokowate, Siki Sawana being held up beautifully as well. And well done, those French defenders, but Piddleston blows her whistle. She did warn Romero that this would escalate if there was another infringement, and she has indeed shown a yellow card. And that could be costly in the final phases of this first half for France. Looks like Audrey Barou, French blindside. Oh, and that's nice from Wakolo. Such a powerful runner with ball in hand as well. And burrowing forward, and that looks very close from the Fijians. Just being told it's short. Ever closer, and they've scored a try in a key moment of this match. Brilliant stuff from the Fijian pack, and earning themselves the points towards the end of this first half, and taking advantage of that yellow card for France.
Good patience by Fiji. They didn't force it. They went through the tight power game. They've got big players to carry and get over the gain line. That was the key thing. Then that quick tap went through to pick and goes. Then Marini goes over. That was vital that they scored before half time.
Well, the first try of the game gets Fiji into the contest, onto the board. An opportunity to bring this to just within 2 points if this goes over. Riwai lines up for the conversion attempt and punches it through. 9 points to 7 the score at halftime here at Kingsholm. The grand final. And Fiji 7, France 9. What a first half, Rocky Clark.
It's been incredible. Yes, there has been a few handling errors, but that's completely normal in these horrendous conditions that have gone through. But the lovely little offloading game from Fiji, the kicking game from France. This is an epic battle, and this second half is only going to get better.
We've had all 4 seasons, it seems, here in Gloucester today. And some of the IDRC officials just lining out the trophy and commemorative medals as well. The Challenge Cup yesterday that was played between Australia and Zambia. The Australians winning that subsidiary competition. 39 points to 15 at Newbury yesterday, before Tonga saw off the Looseheads in the 7th, 8th place playoff by 19 points to 10. The Rangers coming down now. Photographers getting their moment with the trophy. We've seen the Australians and the Zambians both here today, which is fantastic to see, as we've seen throughout the competition, Rocky. Other teams turning up and seeing who they're up against, but also appreciating and savouring the quality that's been on show.
Yes, some great play by these incredible athletes, doing so well.
Ervas Marshall, Cab Townsend, Chair of UCAF Rugby, and Steve Nibbs of Vodafone as well, sponsors of the tournament. Ready to welcome the winners of that Challenge Cup. First of all, the Zambians lining out, the runners up. They played some beautiful rugby in this competition. Very enterprising style. prepared to run the ball from deep as well. Incredible levels of fitness, the Zambians. Arrived late in the tournament, but announced themselves in style. 90 points to 0, they beat Tonga in their first match in Basingstoke, and giving UCAF a scare. 32-22, UCAF beating them. They're coming up now. Recognition of the part they've played in this competition. They've been fantastic as well in terms of the fans and in terms of the atmosphere that they've brought in that very first match, singing themselves off the coach and onto the pitch as well. That's some of the flavour that we get from these World Tournaments, Rocky.
Yeah, and that's what I love about the World Game, the different cultures, how people do it differently, and I love it when they're singing and dancing, bringing the vibe, the energy. That's exactly what you want. That family atmosphere, that party atmosphere, that's what makes the game so exciting, with the fans turning up, being loud and bringing that energy.
Zambians in their vibrant green kits. They've been excellent. And the Australians waiting in their blazers and chinos. Their opportunity to celebrate again, as they did yesterday. It was great to see their supporters, young and old. Some grandmothers and grandfathers were at Newbury to watch, and some young kids too. Of course, it has been the hope of the organisers and the players indeed that this tournament would encourage more women and girls into rugby, and anyone into rugby really, coming to watch the quality that's been on show. And a word for the Australians in that pool of death, as was described by some Rocky Clark. Very difficult Pool B, in with the Fijians and the French. And they've done brilliantly. Caitlin Costello, their skipper, yesterday scoring a hat-trick in that big win over Zambia. And now up they come to collect their medals.
Yeah, some quality players in that, and a tough pool to be in. But we're only going to see bigger and better things for them, but some real quality athletes. I love the handling they have, the offloading game, the physicality. They got it all.
And plenty of style too. I think one or two optimists in that Australian side with their shades on as well, despite what we've seen from the clouds today. And nevertheless, they bring plenty of vibrancy to the game and more opportunity, as Caitlin Costello said to me yesterday after the match, to celebrate Australian sport. It's always a better game with the involvement of the Australians and the Zambians. The two have brought plenty to this tournament. I think everyone on that pitch fairly happy that at the moment the overheads are kinder and everyone can stay dry. It is fairly breezy as well, it must be said, today in Gloucester, influencing that kicking game for both our finalists today. Just waiting for an opportunity to get their hands on that trophy as well. The effort made, of course, by all these sides, the international teams making their way halfway around the world, some of them. And the trophy now being lifted by UCAF chair, Air Vice Marshal Cab Townsend. Steve Nibbs lining up as well with the two Australian co-captains. And congratulations once again to the Australians. Warm cheers and applause from the crowd. And the players themselves soaking it in, as I'm sure they did plenty yesterday. And an opportunity for those photographs to be taken. What a competition it's been. 2.5 weeks, 19 completed matches. As the players line up for the presentation as well. It's great, of course, Rocky, in these tournaments to have the Challenge Cup to keep that competition going for teams who are unlucky in not making the semi-finals. And to to ensure that they have the chance to go home with some silverware, or, as would be the case, some wooden trophies.
Absolutely, you know, you want to make sure you can go as far as you can. So to have this competition still open into two sides, that is absolutely fabulous, and something they'll be working hard and looking to improve their positions if they didn't win the competition. Yeah, it's a fabulous part of this IDRC.
We know that teams have been bonding plenty together. They've all been celebrating what they've seen in this competition, and we've been treated. It's been a real feast for the eyes, especially the number of tries that have been scored. And I'll take an opportunity now just to have a look back at some of those top try moments of the IDRC 2025.
She's in the lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. Oh, that is a fantastic try.
Taking a move it wide here, UCAF. And Jasmine Abel creating a bit of space for Daisy Aspinall. England under-20. That's lovely movement from Daisy Aspinall. Lovely footwork there. And she keeps on going for an early score in the opening seconds of this match.
Kick forward then from Bergeron, and that's collected on that far side of the field, and they're going to go in for the opening score.
Bounced nicely.
Kaburu,
Wow.
and very nice. And Naimata on the right-hand side. A try for Fiji. This is absolutely brilliant stuff from the green and red. Well, enterprising again from the Zambians. They're looking to shape up here and find some numbers. Look at the electric pace from the number 10, Lushomo Laweda. That's a beautiful try. It gets the crowd going wild, many of whom in support for the Zambians. That is sensational.
Much improved performance from them. Great drive again. What a drive, and what a try! Good work from the Australians. Now can they break on this right-hand side? This is a fantastic move forward, and a chance for a try for Australia, and charging through for them is their number 10, Maddie Matthews from Townsville.
Kicking it across, crossfield kick here. Can they gather it? And fantastic stuff. That's absolutely beautiful from Makeda Lewis. What a score.
Intelligent play from them. That's a fantastic run. Brilliant run from Chloe Farrell, who's already got a hat-trick of tries. Can she go all the way? She certainly can. She's beaten off a couple of challenges, and this is a brilliant, brilliant individual try from Chloe Farrell. She's at the lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. Oh, that is a fantastic try.
In Gloucester, the grand final, the second half of the decider at the IDRC 2025. What a run we've had these last 2.5 weeks. It's been fantastic from the very start to this point. 40 minutes left, and France leading by such a narrow margin, 9 points to 7 over Fiji. We've seen quite a lot in the first half. Lots of different styles, of course, with different conditions coming in as well. That breeze is continuing. We've had quite a bit of rain, very heavy at one point. We had a couple of yellow cards as well, one for each side. And Rocky Clark, it's been great to see just how the players in attack and defence have had to adapt quite a bit today. Of course, these sides having played against each other in Pool B and Henley, but that game was close. And I tell you what, 9-7, we're in for it again today.
Yeah, really important that you're able to change your game plan, like especially when conditions come in as well. And I love how France have been able to to kick to those corners or find the space, really pressurising that Fijian attack. And then it's all about the Fijians. They've changed and gone a little bit tighter with their offloading game or their pick and goes, and then they've got the rewards just before half time. But that's the that shows the quality of a side if you're able to change that game plan if you need to, and you certainly need to in a final when conditions change.
Of course, both sides scoring their points in quite different ways. The converted try for Fiji just before half time, showing the results of the efforts from the forwards so close to the whitewash, and the French very methodically taking 3 opportunities from 3 penalties to slot the ball, Melissa Bergeron, between those posts, which she did. 9-7 as the players walk out now to bright sunshine, thankfully. And hopefully a nice dry second half. It's anyone's game, this. It's what we hope for. The final of the IDRC. Rebecca Piddleston making her way back out to the halfway line. The French still down to 14 players. Audrey Barou, yellow carded before half time. The blindside flanker. So what can Fiji do with this player advantage? Viniana Riwai getting ready for the restart. And we're back underway here in Gloucester in a very interesting little tap through. Only as far as Océan Buisson.
She's got such great footwork, hasn't she? She's managed to get out a load of trouble. So much line speed going at her. And Leduc carrying well. 3 of them going in.
It's what we love to see from both sets of forwards today, carrying so strongly. Oh, and that's very, very dangerous on the left-hand wing. Sene Rayoma, one of your players of the semi-finals, Rocky.
Yeah, plays so well. Knows her way to the try line.
Trying to get it through the hands there. Bati Nikila doing her best, the captain. They still have it, going through the phases now, Fiji. Just trying to control possession as best they can. Rokawate makeshift scrum half for the moment. Rokisa now looking to switch back to the other side. Good French defence so far. Oh, and trying to get that over the top to Adi. Not quite doing it on this occasion.
It was good vision, but poor execution. Adi didn't know it was coming. Just a little bit too much on it. I just wonder whether the Fijians need to... They're obviously getting the offloading game, but maybe a couple more passes, maybe a few out the backs. Somebody running the hard line, pulling it out the back, they might get a little bit more change. We saw the French struggled against the UCAF side when that had that hard runner and the out the back option.
Swiard, and that ball slipping out. Wasn't straight. And the Fijians choose a scrum. Amandine Del Corral says, well done, Del Corral. Great to see the family input as well in our comments. Forces News YouTube channel. Let us know where you're watching as well. And where else, Rocky, on Instagram?
Well, if you want to get a message in, Rocky Clark _1. You want to say a good luck message or a supportive message, then please let us know where you're watching from. We'll get them read out.
Mary Bulumuri, let's go Fiji military forces. So support coming for both sides, of course, today. Brilliant to see. So keep those comments coming in. We'll endeavour to give you a shout out where possible. And it's lovely to have your company today. The game just taking a momentary pause while this scrum gets reset. Kisa ready for the put in. Out it comes now, Riwai waiting for it, looking for the potential switch. Siki Sawana, which she does beautifully, and breaking free of some tackles, getting into that French 22, moving it quickly, coming through the hands and looking for the offload, wrapping round the back. Relumu coming again, the outside centre, Soluk Viti. Oh, Rayoma, look at that, that's brilliant stuff from the winger. My word, so close, bundled into touch, much to the delight of the French defence.
Yeah, that was such a good attack from Fiji. Great vision to put it out wide. And just, there was a 4-on-2, but players bit up, and that opportunity for Fiji went through the middle, found the gap, just couldn't get that extra offload away. But they have got the pressure to put onto France, 5 metres from France's line. Could they force this turnover? Massive, massive defence needed here.
Swihart. Oh, and well taken by Fiji. It's the number 8, Vitalina Marini, taking that. A wonderful attacking opportunity for the Fijians. Look at that, ever closer they come. Forwards, Basi Nakila waiting in anticipation. Piddleson having to dip down to see how that's going across. And have they made it, the Fijians? They have indeed. Another try for Fiji. They got one towards the end of the first half. This now, the beginning of the second. That is brilliant.
Well, that was an exceptional play from the Fijians. As White Kolo went over, Sinbimed in the first half, Hero in the second. The pick and go game really working for Fiji. France struggling with the size and power of the Fijians. It was a nice little set-up break earlier up that wing, but then just went into touch but got the turnover after. Rayoma with that great carry forward first, breaking up the wing.
And taking the opportunity for a change. Revuvu coming on for Basi Nakila. Number 17 on into that front row. Riwai in the sunshine. And just pulling that ball slightly a tricky angle. Nevertheless, they lead now, Fiji, for the first time in this match, 12 points to 9. And what a statement on either side of the interval.
Well, that's what you want to do. You want to get out, score first, put the pressure on. And that is a big score from Fiji, but still only 3 points difference in it.
Ball going towards the replacement, Revuvu. Scrum advantage being played to Fiji. Marini. Oh, that's spilled, rather, by Wakolo.
Just going back for the scrum. They had the advantage, but they need their try-scoring prop to get up and get back in. There she goes. Absolute powerhouse, skipping her way back. Happy she's going to a scrum.
You can always tell when there are fond words of admiration. Rocky Clark.
Well, as a front rower, a lot of love for front row. Love seeing them on the scoreboard and getting the recognition they deserve with their carries and the dark arts and the hard work. It's nice to be able to talk about it.
Fanny Camus coming on for France. Try scorer against UCAF on Saturday, on for Jodie May Romero. Yeah, perhaps not enough love, some could argue, for the front row. Coming from a former back myself, I may admit that. Yeah, France ringing a change as well. What can Fanny Camus do here as Fiji get the penalty? Well, they're putting the pressure on now, the Fijians are looking to run this ball again. Siki Sawana trying their best to jackal there. Karasuke in midfield. And Marini as it comes. Oh, Wakolo. Rocky purring in admiration here beside me there.
we've seen the front row carry really well, and I want to give a mention to Ma Rama. Good carries, but her work rate round the park, just getting in and securing the breakdowns, the unseen work.
Oh, and Addy spilling that forward. Replacement today for Naimata is Varitema Addy. France put in. Fanny Camus with the ball in hand.
So referee just having a word that she wants the front row, the French front row, to stay down, not stand up. Sometimes when a front row doesn't want to stay down, they sometimes hinge from the hips, pop up. It's a sign of a good referee when they know a team's doing that, because it's illegal.
Camus with the put in. Out it comes, Bergeron waiting. And skipping out Del Corral. That ball's
That's a penalty.
offside there, and a penalty for Fiji on halfway.
So the player knocked the ball on, but one of her teammates was in front of her, so that's why the penalty's been given. Fiji opting to kick to the touchline. I think there's a discussion whether they're going to make it, because it's from halfway. It's a windy day.
Ball being held up by the wind, and almost coming into French hands. A bit of a late challenge there from the number 2, Litia Marama. And Eloise Bure.
Well, it was a good outcome. It was a short kick, but France knocked it on. So good attacking platform here for the Fijians, 10-metre line.
Now we're seeing one of your players of the tournament so far, Kavuru, Lavena Kavuru, coming on for Anna Maria Rokisa. What a player she is, what sevens pedigree she has as well, Kavuru. A very exciting change for the Fijians.
Yeah, this is huge. Real threat with ball in hand, and just rallies her troops and makes it look effortless. So to go from the quality play by Rokisa, and this change is massive. Advantage here at the scrum.
Going back to the penalty. Elise Aricastre just being told, just collapsing that. And looking for a bit of medical attention here, it seems. The loose head.
She doesn't look very happy. A bit of a shoulder injury, she's holding that arm up.
It's Kavuru this time with that left boot. Very useful player on multiple fronts is Kavuru, just almost, well, knocking into her slightly bigger teammate, Priscilla Siata. Marama goes long this time, but comes back into French hands. Suillard looking to pick up. Fiji being told to leave that alone. Comes back to Léa Morel. Fanny Camus moving it through the hands. That's nice work, with the advantage coming as well. High challenge from Marama.
It could have gone either way. It was a high challenge or lead him with the elbow. France get a let off here.
Line out on halfway now for France. That's clean, and Camus, well, under a bit of pressure there. Immediately under a bit of pressure, but offside. And a French penalty comes.
Well, that's what you don't want to do. Give a penalty, give another penalty.
Well, they managed to keep this in, have Fiji, and Adi this time, but chased down beautifully by Andrea Shasta.
That was risky business, tapping that back in. Could have bounced a different way, could have been a try, but they've managed to secure it.
Kavuru with the clearance, but only as far as Bergeron. And Buisson with those dancing feet. Here she comes, Buisson. Looking to beat those defenders on the outside and spilling that forward, unfortunately for her.
Always a threat with ball in hand, but that's probably the only thing you didn't expect her to do, was go bowling with it. That just shows you how wet and slippy it is out there. So a scrum for Fiji, really important they exit now. But the French are going to be licking their lips, trying to get this turnover in the scrum. Massive, massive opportunity for those front rows to assert themselves.
It's Leah Magarel coming off the pitch, and Charlene Walter coming on for her. Fiji leading 12 points to 9 in this final. If you're just joining us on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. 54 minutes played. Taking a bit of time just to get this scrum right, especially with some of those fresh legs on the pitch. French forwards doing their best with that shove to put a lot of pressure on and earning themselves the penalty as well.
Big rewards for France.
Another attacking opportunity. Of course, now trailing in this match, France. Chance for them to, as she does, Bergeron put the ball into the 22 and hope for the line out here.
So what can the French do here? Walking into the line out.
And it's Baru. He takes that cleanly, and the driving maul comes out. She's urging her forwards to push on here, is Baru. An advantage being played as well. It's Ravuvu collapsing that. Being pinged, and a lovely little chip coming through here as well. And Buisson just knocking that forward, but they'll come back for the penalty nevertheless. Well, Rebecca Piddleson, who's not been afraid to reach for her pocket through this tournament. And indeed, Ravuvu being shown the way to the sin bin. Collapsing that. And France with a golden opportunity here.
Yeah, the French are notoriously known for a good maul. And they flex their muscles with the maul a number of times throughout this tournament. They did it so well against UCAF as well in that semi-final.
Ball comes in, taken cleanly, Baru again. But not straight.
Well, they were also warned for not holding the player, which they did. They're lucky to get away with just a scrum against them, but this is a tough exit. They've lost one of their front row players.
Such fine margins in this game. 12-9 Fiji leading. Now with a player in the bin. France not getting that line out right. And the Fijian put into the scrum. Good shove on from the French forwards here. Kavuri under quite a bit of pressure getting that out to Riwai. Looking to run it anyway.
Not scared of playing out their 22, are they?
Siki Sawana moving that back, but they will kick this time. Finding a little bit of space between the waiting French, and Bergeron pushing that ball out, but the wind catching it a little bit. Didn't go as far as she would have hoped. Now the blind side, Makoto finding some French jerseys. They're going to move it through the hands and over the head almost. And Buisson getting stuck in defence.
I just wish they'd use hands rather than looking for the offload every time. But incoming bowling ball. Wow. Wouldn't want to be on the end of that. Flying at you.
Mokolo taking that ball at pace there. And here she goes again.
She's got through some work.
Coming through this time, Priscilla Siata. Always looking for options on their shoulders, the Fijian attack. Ball comes out. They're looking to run this, and the offloads have come again. Narokite this time. Spotting a bit of space, but they move this back. Well taken off her bootlaces there, Priscilla Siata. Going back the other way. Marama. This is good from Fiji, moving it through the phases. Trying to break down that French defence gradually. Nice handling there again, Narokite. And quick ball. Riwai spotting a bit of space in behind, chipping it through there. Can she get on it, Ryoma? The football skills coming into play, and she frustrated there. She pushes back. The corner flag. Almost Rocky Clark.
Yeah, things you love to see. They are certainly rolling the dice, Fiji here, having a go. Seeing a bit of line speed coming from France, and so they're opting for the ball to boot. If that bounce had just gone in, could have been different things, but they're kind of just going with that piston kind of attack where a pod either side of the posts, and then they're just trying to find those little offloads, get in behind the defence, and when it's on, they're going for the kick or the offload in for that line break.
Serene Magere on the pitch and taking the ball immediately in the line out as well. She's on from Marie Amon, open side. Looking to play from the 22, France. Getting tangled up a little bit here. Coming back, Bergeron. Kicking that only as far as Ryoma. Kavuru, I beg your pardon. Kavuru at the base of the scrum, or base of the ruck again. Seeing what forward option she has. And number 8 this time, Marini. Into the French 22. Well ripped by Ripin. Comes back to Suillard, the hooker. And penalty as well. And a high tackle.
Just these penalties creeping in. There's been a few high shots. They've got to make sure they don't give these penalties away. They were in with a really good chance of getting a score. And that high shot just allows France to get out. France have just got to go through their process. We've seen earlier Bergeron kicking so well. Haven't seen the forwards as much as we did against the UKF side, but they just try not to have the ball in their half. Ripin with a great steal. pickpocketed our opposite number.
Swihart and Husson having a word with his French line out. They're trying to take it short, and that's a little sloppy, but they still have the ball. Fanny Camus back to Magère, moving it through. Del Corral looking for the handoff. A lot of pressure coming through from that Fijian defence, though. And it's good work from Fiji, but France have the penalty. Buisson taking it quickly. Look at that electric pace from Buisson, and just spilled forward there. Karasque. And some afters as well.
Well, the French side are now trying to take a little bit off the Fijians, going with those quick taps. Could have worked if she'd found a little bit more space.
Water coming on the pitch. Players take a break in proceedings just to be on the hour mark in this match as well. It's still Fiji 12, France 9. In this tight clash between the sides in the grand final at Kingsholm Stadium. Referee just having a word with Rokawati, and explaining that it's just to be the two of them working together and explaining things, and no back chat from some of the other players there. Fijian scrum after that French knock-on.
Well, this is going to be a tough scrum again. They're under big pressure last time, managed to get it away. Obviously, as a front row, it's a bit of a bugbear when you're under pressure. If you've only got 7 players against a good scrum, you've got to win the ball first, so maybe they'll just go for a quick strike. Yeah, they got to get it away quick. Oh, the French are coming, here they come.
Well, offside rules Rebecca Piddleston, and Fijian penalty coming through. There's a bit of a reshuffle in their backs as well. Rakisa coming back on, Adi going off, and Solikoviti moving to the right wing from outside centre. Rokawate opting to try and put this into touch as deep as she can. And she finds a spot just around that 22 mark. So here we are, 15 minutes to go in the grand final and just 3 points in it. Who's brave enough to call this final quarter of an hour in Gloucester? That ball going back towards France. It looked a bit late, that. Just on the touchline. Never nice when you take a shoulder in the back. If you find yourself in the wrong position as well, Rocky Clark.
Well, it's when you don't expect it after a whistle's gone or somebody's come in from the side. If you don't expect it, that's when they really hurt.
Just getting some treatment there.
Referee's starting to lose patience, wants the game to speed up a little. referee didn't realise she was the hooker. Would have been a bit difficult for the set piece to happen without her.
Yeah, should be very clear, Rebecca Piddleston, not afraid to reach for the cards if necessary when discipline breaks down, not afraid to have a word with the players, but she does want that play to be free-flowing, as you say. And substitution now, Pointu coming off the field, and Seninge coming on for France. Adeline Lemoine also coming on, replacement hooker. That's Anaëlle Squiard just walking off with the medic there. She seems to be up and moving fine, but just a little bit of attention which she needs.
Well, a little bit of pressure for the replacement hooker to come on, but lovely arrows, finds a woman, enables the French side to get to the middle of the field. Two sides of attack, under pressure though.
Well, still a danger zone, even though they have ball in hand here, France. Fijians looking to rip that ball at every opportunity in defence, and up very quickly too. Here comes Bergeron. Lovely stuff from Chastain. And a French penalty. I think much to the disappointment, as you can hear some of the boos in the crowd as well. Plenty of Fijian fans watching on, and not so sure they agree with that. Ball finds its way out just over halfway. Time for Revuvu to come back on after the sin binning. Did well, Fiji. 12 points to 9. They lead at the end of that 10-minute period for Revuvu off the field. Back to a full complement now. And Baru, very good Fijian defence, just shoving her right back. Majer, very, very good Fijian defence. You can hear the noise as well, as they agree with that. Just some players getting a little overexcited as well.
Yeah, a few tempers raised here, and that's all because it means so much. Goes against France.
Paddy Sheehan, assistant referee from Ireland, raising the flag as we get ever closer to the final 10 minutes. And just 3 points in it. Marama, you've been mentioning, Rocky, how much you've admired her work rate round the pitch today. Ball in hand, taken by France, but referee just saying to stay in the line and keep that gap set.
Yeah, that's your responsibility at the front of the line out. You've got to keep the gap. And then the lifting pod has to make sure they don't close it, because it can also make it look not straight.
Well, that goes long.
Big
and
overthrow.
That's Makoto who cleans up. And to drive forward those powerful legs. And he's trying to get the ball out quickly, and that's nice work again. Marama this time. Lovely offload out the back of the hand. That's beautiful stuff. To Solokiviti. But well done from France. They get that ball back. An opportunity to try and exit here. The forwards first of all. Morini trying not to have any of it. The Fijian number 8.
I think that's really harsh for Fiji. The French had a player laying the wrong side, so they couldn't get there for the support. But
French risking the play across their own try line there. Fiji will be happy enough to see that. And Bergeron this time putting the ball out into touch.
Well, the French have used one of their 9 lives, they're like a cat, to get that exit. They got the turnover. Playing so well with those turnovers. But they need to get into the Fijian 22, get some points on board. There's just no space.
Substitution now, Latia Marama coming off the field for Fiji. Wainakiti Yala coming on in her place. Saloti Kaibu and Lavenia Tinai also warming up on the touchline for Fiji. Taking it short this time, and Wakolo, she's been great, Wakolo, with ball in hand today. Ravuvu.
Not your traditional line-out throw. She went for a pass, more 7 style than your traditional hooker throw. But it worked, went to the front of the line-out.
Wakolo doing well to juggle that ball and keep it in her possession. Missing out Siata, Riwai, moving into midfield, and you can see that chance of the offload is there. Kisa being helped by Rokowate over the 22 line. Kavuru now. Here it comes. Did well to hold on to that. Morini. Wavuvu. And Wakolo now, a good going forward ball from the Fijian forwards. Listen to that noise build as well in this stadium. Wavuvu once more. 5-metre line. But a French penalty, great work once again in defence. Another opportunity missed, you think, for Fiji.
Yeah, that was Camus who got on that, made that turnover, and then Fijians talking back. So they've been marched another 10. That is a massive let off for them. The French staying patient. Again, looking for field position.
Will they come on now? Kaibu and Tinai. On for Priscilla Siata and Doreen Narokite. Adeline Carrasque coming off for France. Melanie Busquet on in her place. The line hit at pace there. Fiji were right up for it. Big tackles coming in here. And another French penalty. Still trailing, of course, in this match. 12-9. Let's get their way down this pitch as quickly as they can. Just 7 minutes to go in this game. Fiji, of course, will know that they've got a great opportunity if they can hold them out here to score one of their own. They like running it from anywhere, the Fijians, which has always been great to watch.
They do, but the French are rolling up their sleeves, making yards up the pitch.
And one with the throw. Getting a rolling ball moving here, France. He's productive so far.
Now, the reason they might be doing this is to try and tie in as many forwards or earn a penalty, but they played out wide.
Bergeron missing Buisson this time, and Busquet having to do quite a bit of work there to clean that up. Out it comes once again. This time going the other way. Del Corral. France with ball in hand, trying to march towards the halfway line. And a bit of a rocket pass there, but it's done okay. And well, Eloise Buret, Serene Magère. Fierce tackles from Fiji, but this one high and an advantage being played to France. Rebecca Piddleton marching them back.
Wow, it's like WWE here. There are so many massive hits going in. This French side really are going to be bruised and battered, but they're staying in the fight. They're getting the opportunity. They're waiting for the Fijians to give away the penalty. Now cool, calm and collected is Bergeron. Takes them up the field. Here's the forwards in the huddle. Got to make sure they get that right call. This is where it really counts now. 4.5 minutes left on the clock. You just wonder if the next score wins.
Adeline Lemoine in the scrum cap. Not long on the field. Getting that rolling maul going again. That's sloppy from the French. And a Fijian put into the scrum.
Oh, you got a feel for France there. Again, tactically going for that maul, trying to draw the penalty. Another penalty gives them a shot at the try line. And maul is so strong and destructive, but if you get done for truck and trailer, then that's not ideal. Might get many more chances than that. We'll have to see.
Cries of let's go Fiji, let's go as we're into the final 5 minutes of this match in Kingsholm. Crowd in great voice yet again. It's been a feature of this tournament wherever we've played across the south and southwest of England.
It's an early drive. Oh, referee's been very kind there. I'd be kicking off if I had an early drive against me. But as we know, you cannot talk back to the referee. She's already marched them back 10.
Three minutes to go and 3 points in it. What can the French forwards do here to disrupt this Fijian scrum? Out it comes. Riwai looking to put this ball aerially, which she does. And Bergeron coming on to that, passing it out. And Busquet. Lamoine. Through the hands. It stays. Again, Bergeron under a bit of pressure, but spotting a bit of space, opening up with how quick the Fijians are in the line. Putting it over the top with Fanny Camus. Spotting a bit of space. Bouncing awkwardly for Fiji. It's good work from Serene Magère. And pushing the Fijians back here. And it's come back to the French. Just into that Fijian 22 now, France. They realise this is their opportunity in this match. Clémence Ripin. Del Corral. Just outside the 22. Advantage being played as well to France. Moving it out the hands. Buisson with a bit of space to work with on the right. What can she do, Océane Buisson? Ever closer to the line. That's fantastic from the French fullback. Not far here. Forwards this time. Still advantage to France. What an opportunity for them. Out it comes. Thunderous tackling from the Fijian defence. Still advantage being played. Looking to get quick ball here, France. Bergeron putting the little chip through. What can she do? Getting this ball into space, a fantastic score. Melanie Bousquet on the pitch, a matter of minutes, and scoring for the French on the left-hand side in just the nick of time in this game. Into the final minute at Kingsholm. Oh my word, what a score for France.
Phenomenal finish by Bousquet, and the ability to read that, find that space. Quality kick from Bergeron. The French just so patient in that build-up. Ill discipline from the Fijians, and that's going to be a heart wrench for them. But the French just showing why they're such a quality outfit, even with the amount of pressure they've had against them. That was superb from the French.
Bergeron placing that ball onto the tee. Of course, going to take her time here. Wow, what timing, Rocky Clark.
Superb. Bousson, the person who did it so well, drove them forwards from full back. That incredible leg drive.
Conversion missed, but France are the IDRC 2025 champions. A brilliant try at the very end of the game. That is magical for the French. The Fijians leading 12 points to 9 until the 80th minute of the match. Brilliant awareness from Melissa Bergeron finding Melanie Bousquet, and that is jubilation for the French.
Just seeing the celebrations from the French. They know they've got away with one there. The Fijians had that in the bag, but just couldn't get another score to take it away. And the French just stayed in the fight. And they got the rewards at the last second. But having a player like Bergeron, tactical prowess, and that kick in was superb for them to go over.
Ecstasy for France and heartbreak for Fiji. We knew it would be a close one today, be a brave one to call. We saw what happened in Pool B in Henley when it was the Fijians who were celebrating at the end of that one. And depleted 20 minutes towards the end of the game. Quite a few cards being issued to their players. And this time, it's France who are celebrating, and celebrating back-to-back titles, having done it in 2022. That is quite the achievement, and the patience that they've shown through this entire tournament paying right off there. These are the moments you live for, Rocky Clark. As a player, celebrating together, they've put their bodies on the line for each other. 2.5 weeks of toil through this tournament. Jumping and dancing. Well, it's brilliant to see.
It is, and I've been on both sides of the coin. I've narrowly won and narrowly lost at times, and it is both ends of the spectrum. They are going wild, the French, and deservedly so. They stayed in, they got their chance, and they took it. Fijians know that that should have been theirs. They are absolutely gutted. They had so many opportunities to get more points on board.
Well, we're going to go pitch side now. Kath Brazier is with a delighted French head coach.
Okay, so we're here with the winning team manager, Agathe. Wow. I mean, talk about leaving it to the last minute. That was a beautiful win for you.
Yeah. Very stressful until last minute. I mean, we knew it was going to be a very tough game. We knew the Fiji, we lost them in the pool, so we knew it was going to be tough. But we knew we could make it. Also, there were just 3 points of difference. We knew we could make it. We have to stay focused. So we tried to tell the substitute to stay focused, and we were going to make it. But what a relief! Yeah.
And you mentioned the game in the pool where you were ahead by quite a way.
Yeah.
Were you worried that history was repeating itself, because Fiji have the ability to come back?
Yeah, definitely. We knew that. That's why we told the girl at halftime that they had to stay focused, because we knew Fiji could be like really tough after the halftime. And since we were ahead, we knew that they were going to try. and they did actually. So we didn't want that, but they managed, and then we just had the goal. To say focus until, because it's 80 minutes and it's not
a very good game.
It lasts 80 minutes, so even 78 minutes it's not over.
And you had everything. We had the weather in the first half. We've had beautiful sunshine in the second half. Fiji threw everything at you. They're very well deserving second places. But you've won it twice in a row. That means the only people to have won the IDRC Women's Tournament is France.
Yeah. We are very proud. I mean, it's a lot of work to arrive here from like all the players, all the staff. So it's a lot of work. So we're very happy because we know that when we work hard, then we get reward from that. But I also want to congratulate Fiji because they were a very, very tough team, and I mean they could have won as well, and they are a great team as well. So I wish them the best for the future as well.
Again, thank you very much. Go and celebrate with your team, and we'll go back to the commentary team. Simon Hunter, sorry.
Thanks, Kath Brazier. Yes, jubilation there, of course, and great to see players jumping in the interview as well. Delighted. Cock a hoop, the French. And as Kath said, Rocky, for the French to be the only winners of the women's IDRC so far, winning it back to back, people might look at that and say, oh, that's pretty good, but the work that goes into that, the level of detail, the focus that Agatha was talking about there, that's something special.
So special, and the drilled side that they are, they know and they support each other, they know the threats that they've got, and they play a very good game plan, and that is something that's so hard to beat. And we saw how close Fiji came to beating them, but when it mattered, the game that mattered at the end in the final, last minute, they get their reward.
Hear the chants in French, the singing, and also from the Fijian side of things too. The Fijians in a huddle, in great voice, as we always see at the end of the game. This game played in very good spirits as well. This whole tournament played in brilliant spirits. And it'll be a great journey back to France. It'll also be a period of reflection for them, and for the Fijians too. They've played a monumental part in this tournament. As they were saying there, Rocky, you can never take your foot off the gas against Fiji. They can run it from anywhere. They're not afraid to play. And they just have that belief the whole time that no matter what the situation is on the pitch, they might be down players, they're going to play the ball and they're going to score at every opportunity if they can.
That's the thing. They're not scared of playing out of from behind their try line. They can score from anywhere, and it's only the matter of a bounce going infield or outfield, or the ball going to hand is the difference. But a really obvious style of play that they like to play with. They've got some big, strong ball carriers running those support lines, but still things to work on. They can certainly be very, very proud of what they've achieved, and they're a very tough team to play against.
And reflecting on the tournament as well, Rocky, I mean, we've seen matches played at some of the most famous grounds in the country. We've seen top-level clashes. We've seen great tries scored. I mean, goodness me. Well, we will have to toss up at some point how many tries have been scored in this competition. And, all in all, I think it's been a wonderful tournament, a wonderful example and showcase for women's military rugby from right across the world.
It certainly has. It just shows you the quality of the competition, the quality of the players and the athletes, and we're being treated to the Women's Rugby World Cup at the moment, and it just flows through so well. We're just seeing the women's game grow from strength to strength.
Yeah, with the Women's World Cup at the moment, which is absolutely fantastic to watch. It's great also to see what military rugby is now providing to those sides. We know Amy Cockayne, of course, in Red Roses, veteran player in that side, and Sarah Bonner in Scotland, and Manakalu Komatai for Fiji, having scored against Scotland as well at the weekend. Those three players at Royal Air Force, first two, and Komatai, Combs, of course, from the British Army. What a brilliant result for the services, and seeing the players that they're able to help push through.
Absolutely, and along my career I've played with a number of players from the military, and just the support that they get is massive, and it's a huge lift for their teams as well, and getting their team's name on the map. And that's what you want, the quality going through and people representing them. It's a big coup for the military sides to have their players representing internationally.
A word on the officials as well, as we see them line out there towards that table with all the medals and trophy on it. Of course, there's the challenge, Rocky, when you get officials, not only players but officials as well, coming from northern and southern hemisphere standards and styles. You know, there's the challenge there as well, making sure that everything is consistent through this tournament, and they've been on it.
Yeah, that's really important. Otherwise you're under scrutiny, and you want to make sure the game is fair and everyone has the same opportunity. So that's why they work so well as a team of three. And they'll certainly go back and reflect upon their performance. They'll get feedback. They'll go through it with a fine-tooth comb and make sure they keep improving as well as the players.
These are the moments they'll remember for their whole lives. Dancing, jumping, hugging each other. Of course, placards and signs as well with very special messages on them. The French players, some of them being lifted up as well. These are just top moments for them. And the Fijians as well, they're gutted obviously, but lots of hugs and I think realisation between teammates of what they've achieved. And the close encounters like this, befitting of a final. The final moments can go either way, you feel at times. France deserving on this occasion due to this patient game that they have, and scoring that try right at the end. As we watch the players getting ready to head up for the presentations. It'll be Fiji first to collect their medals. Vice Marshal Cab Townsend, UCAF chair, and Steve Nibbs of Vodafone heading up towards that table. And the players now congratulating each other for the game and what they've done through the tournament. They've seen quite a bit of each other, of course, having played in Pool B together and against each other. And a bit of a sort of a player snake developing there in terms of a very orderly queue. Rocky, it bodes so well, doesn't it, for future iterations of the IDRC as well. France will be hungry, obviously, to come back to the next tournament for a third victory. And of course, the other teams, other 7 teams, will be in the hunt. And disappointment, of course, for Fiji. Disappointment for UCAF as well, not making it into the final today. And defeat to the French on Saturday. But it bodes well, and also a lot of young players coming through as well for various teams. It bodes really well for the future.
Really does. Lots of quality players coming through.
Brilliant scenes, as I think we have to come to the terms of the fact that this is it for the IDRC 2025. Well done to the organisers, well done to Kingsholm today. All the other grounds we've been at. Royal Military Academy Sandhurst hosting many of these players as well. They've had opportunities to bond, to get to know each other as well. There have been culture nights. There was the opening ceremony, of course, only a few weeks ago. Feels a long time ago now. But what rugby we've witnessed. It's been an absolute pleasure as well, bringing these games to you live on BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. All the stuff we've been able to get with the players behind the scenes as well on our social media channels, BFBS Forces News, forcesnews.com, our website. You can check out plenty more. We're seeing that Viniana Riwai has been awarded Player of the Tournament, the GN number 10. And plenty of competition for that prize, Rocky. That's been a fantastic performance and a consistent one from her throughout.
Yeah, you've seen the quality of her today. Just every time a threat, ball in hand. And it's not often you say that a 10 is a phenomenal tackler as well. And she's just so physical beautiful skill set, tactically astute as well. Well deserved player.
Yeah, bittersweet moment for her. Very proud, of course, individually. She'll be disappointed, obviously, with today's result. Fiji just coming up short on this occasion. And warm applause for Riwai. Brilliant for her. Some other contenders. Caitlin Costello, Australia. Lucien Buisson. Riwai just showing that trophy presented to her as player of the tournament to some of her teammates as they await their moment behind skipper Esita Batinikila to go up for their runners-up medals. And lovely from the French as well, forming a tunnel, a guard of honour as their opponents come through. Riwai leading her troops up. Wakolo. Batinikila, the skipper herself as well. And Kavuru just... Oh, what a game from France. The other side has really had any time to soak in what's just happened. Handshakes all round as well from the dignitaries. Lovely to see. Adds to the sense of occasion at this tournament.
Great, thank you.
Cameras, the DSLRs, broadcast cameras looking to get their moments as well as the players come through. Photographs, footage that will last a lifetime for many of these players. And for many, of course, this is their first global tournament they've played at. First opportunity in front of cameras, in front of the world watching. First opportunity for some of them in stadiums like this as well. What a privilege. And clapping in unison for France as they get ready to head up themselves. That trophy is looking a bit lonely at the minute. They're wanting their medals and wanting their moment to lift that.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Impressive.
Well done, France. Brilliant achievement. Romero coming up. Number 9, the skipper today, on through the tournament, Jodie May Romero. And they really have earned this through the last couple of weeks, Rocky.
You can just see why they're champions. From their big, powerful front row to their electric back three, every player is counted. Defence just going up, double tackling that line speed, attack, creative. Also using the right game plan at the right time.
Lovely scenes as well with the Fijian players getting ready for a special photograph and their flag being whipped out too, and that player of the tournament trophy as well. They're cohesive as a unit, singing together after matches, the chants that come, the cheers, the hugs. You can hear what it means as well from the crowd. Those Fijian supporters who've turned up. as they have done very consistently through the tournament.
Congratulations. You okay? Oh, there we go. I don't want to hurt you. Well done. Congratulations. Well done.
Rocky, of course, it's a busy time for you as well. You'll be back to the bike as you were this morning before the match. It's been a great privilege having you with us, and a joy to have you beside me, my friend, up here in the commentary box.
Yeah, it's certainly been a few busy days as we started off in our team of 4 named the Golden Girls. Look it up on Instagram, Golden Girls Rugby, as we made our way from Sunderland all the way down to here via the World Cup stadiums for the women's rugby. We're doing it in 2 legs. So I've been on a bike the last 3 days, and I'm pretty glad we're standing up here in comms. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it was pretty incredible, and yeah, we went through a number of those rain showers like we saw earlier, but yeah, raising vital funds for Ed if you want to make a donation. But it's been great to cycle into the stadium and around, get the support.
Well, congratulations on that effort as well, Rocky. It's a test of endurance for sure as the World Cup rumbles on.
Yeah, 400 miles in the bank already done, 350 coming up for the second leg. Exeter, Bristol, Brighton, and finally Twickenham.
It's all worth it having to winch you up into the commentary gantry today.
I know, I was a bit scared when I saw the stairs, I'm not going to lie. Took me double the time to get up, but we made it, and we saw a cracking game of rugby, so it was all worth it.
All those energy drinks hopefully pay off as well as we await the French lifting the trophy at the IDRC 2025. Deserved champions, back-to-back winners of the competition. What great ambassadors they are for this. As are Fiji. They begin their lap of honour, thanking the supporters for what they've brought the last while as well. Many of them carrying Fijian flags. And just the last remnants of that backroom staff for France, shaking the hands of the dignitaries there. And it's been a real squad effort for them. Any of those players who have bumps and bruises and some little niggles, well, I'm sure the adrenaline and the ecstasy at the moment of what they've achieved will be staving that off perhaps for a day or two. Wonderful scenes here in Gloucester. As the players get into position, they know what's about to happen. It's the moment they've all been dreaming of as a team. Being able to lift that trophy. And those signs as well, clearly visible. Great times for Les Bleus. Move back just a bit further towards the centre of the pitch for this presentation to happen. And the World Champions banner gets unveiled as well in front of the French side. International Defence Rugby Competition 2025 held in the United Kingdom. As Judy May Romero comes to pick up the trophy. Some corks already being set off. Some players already starting to bounce and jump. Judy May Romero, the French skipper, posing for the photographs first of all. It's been a joy having you all with us, BFBS Forces News YouTube, for this entire tournament. And of course, it'll culminate in the lifting of that trophy deserved winners back to back. France will be going home absolutely delighted with what they've done in this tournament, not least in this final, as Romero comes towards her players, lifts the trophy aloft, and France celebrate as champions yet again. The moments you imagine as a rugby player, especially lining out for your forces side. They celebrate together. These celebrations will continue over the next days and weeks and months. It's been great having you all with us. Rocky Clark, great having you in commentary with me today as well. And of course, for plenty more behind the scenes action and more reaction from today, you can check out our website, forcesnews.com. Our social media channels have plenty there too, BFBS Forces News. And we'll see you for plenty more sporting action soon from the IDRC 2025. It's goodbye from us.
She's